Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is February 11th, 2026. It is a Wednesday. Hope everybody's week has started out okay. Hey, Laurel. She's in the room. She says, "Looks good. Sounds good. Looks good. Good." You're gonna have to deal with. Deal with me. Bear with me tonight. I am super tired. I know I'm usually tired for the show, but I'm super tired. We had a snowstorm last night, and hey there, Allie and Jim. Welcome to the show. We got in some snow last night. So one of my neighbors decides he's going to get up before 4 o'clock in the morning and snow blow. And woke me up, and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I got up. It's like, so I've been up a couple hours. Laurel says, "How rude." Yeah, I don't know what time he goes to work, but he was making sure the sidewalk was cleared out. Our sidewalks that went in are ADA compliant. I don't know if have your communities done the whole ADA compliant stuff for all of your roads and sidewalks and stuff like that? That's some of the biggest horse shit I've ever seen. They got to be at least 5 feet wide, the sidewalks. So all the new sidewalks that go in are 5 feet or more wide. So no more, 3 feet, 3.5 feet sidewalks. So our sidewalks take 3 to 4 good snowblower widths to clear out now. And they just put them in this last year before last. Now remember, they took down my maple tree. Yeah, took down my maple tree for that shit. But yeah, so I understand why he was out there, but it was not cool, not quite that early in the morning. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what time he goes to work. The other neighbors, I got another neighbor. He goes in at he leaves, I think, about 6 and change, just after 6. Now, when I was selling guns, I'd have to be in by 7, so I left about 6:30 to go into work. Laurel says, "I think that if they require it, they should be required to maintain." Yeah, I'd say they've got a machine. They got a big machine. It's a Bobcat with a snowblower on it, and they do the other sidewalk that goes on the main street, and they've been down my street once, but most of the time we clear it out. We clear it out, and they like to pile up the snow down at the end. It's like, well, then how the hell are the kids going to be able to get off the sidewalk when you've got a big snow? So we got to clear that shit out. Oh, and it was really fun. Really fun. I had gotten done clearing the snow, and I've been in. And then later in the day, they went through again, and they put a bunch of road snow back on everything. So I went back out. Well, what they had did, and they'd never done this before, they went down my street, and they widened it, and they pushed, not up the street, just from, because I'm right on the corner. So from the last telephone pole, just shy of my driveway, until the road, they widened it again where all the snow was there, and it pushed it all over half of the sidewalk and into my driveway. So it's like, oh, you sons of mothers. So I had to get out there, and I had to clear that all out again. You figure, okay, road snow was fine, but they have never pushed the road snow back and cover up the sidewalk. It's like, oh, not cool. But it is what it is. So yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit tired. Oh, my goodness. But my snowblower's running good. That's good. That is absolutely wonderful. Wasn't running last year. This year, she running like a top. Once I got it fixed, had to get a new belt on it. That's why it wasn't running last year, because the belt had worn out. So I got the new belt on it. She's running good. And, I don't mind snow blowing. I don't. I prefer it. No slushy stuff. I like a good 6 to 8 inches of nice fluffy snow. That's fun. That's fun to clear. And then by the time we got into 30s today. So we got all that snow. We got into 30s. So all the snow in the truck had turned into perfect snowball snow. But I had to get that cleared off and drop the tailgate, jump in there, and shovel out the back of the bed. So that was that. Allie and Jim. Is he playing Horizon again, or are you guys going out to dinner? How was dinner? They went out to, Allie, Jim, and a friend of theirs went out to Applebee's Sunday evening. I used to like Applebee's. People shit on it. But people shit on Olive Garden, too. I got no problem with Olive Garden. It's always been decent food. Oh, it's American, American Italian. It's not real Italian. I don't care if it's real Italian. It's decent food. Some of it better than others, but big servings. I don't have any problems with Olive Garden. The kids want to go to Olive Garden on Valentine's Day, and they don't take reservations. So we got to be there when they open. We're going to be there when they open. So we're going to have lunch there. Valentine's Day lunch at the Olive Garden. I got no problem with that. But yeah, Applebee's, never had a problem with Applebee's. It was what it was. It's like it's got to be what it is. And if it's decent food for what it is, that's fine. Laurel says, I've never considered Olive Garden too authentic. But I like, it's just like hell. Half of the Mexican restaurants ain't real Mexican. It's Tex-Mex. Who cares? It's like, oh, Taco Bell ain't Mexican. Yeah, and I like Taco Bell. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. So yeah, it's not. No, it's nice atmosphere. It's got decent music playing. It's clean. Allie says, good for me, not for them. Oh, they didn't like it? What was wrong? Applebee's. Their favorite thing for me was is chicken with jalapeno mashed potatoes. It was my favorite meal there. It's a chicken breast with some cheese and stuff on it. They do their stuff, and mashed potatoes and a vegetable on the side, but and plenty of jalapenos. And I'd always tell them, put triple the jalapenos. Just triple the jalapenos. They'll do it. See, a lot of people, no, ask the restaurant. They'll do it. Laurel says, luckily we have a good Mexican restaurant. Yeah, and Chinese is the same way. We can't find a decent Chinese restaurant anymore. We used to have a couple around. It ain't the same. Oh, they're Chinese people running it, but it ain't like it used to be. They had good old Chinese restaurants. But so tell us, Allie, why wasn't it good for them? Tonight's coffee is hazelnut cream, New England brand. Overcooked? Yeah, they can do that sometimes. Sometimes a chicken be overcooked. They like to overcook their chicken. Guess they want to be safe than sorry. I'll tell them, use a fucking thermometer. You'll be right on every time. I am so sorry that happened to you. Yeah. Happens. Okay. We got a few folks in there. Hey, Gus, you watching? He may or may not be. I got a headache. And I'm tired. It has been quite the week on Facebook. Gus is there, okay. Good deal. I get up Monday morning and turn on my computer, and Facebook they demonetized me, totally restricted me. Like, you sons of bitches. I'm like, what the hell did I do? Oh, you sale or transfer of prohibited weapons on Facebook. It's like, what? I don't sell anything on Facebook. I don't give away firearms, ammunition. I couldn't figure it out. Allie says, fabulous margaritas. Well, there you go. I like a good margarita. So I was pissed. I was pissed. So I'm like, what the hell was it? And they don't show you. They just tell you. It's like, hey, OT, welcome to the show. So they tell me that you've had a post removed, and it's removed because of it violates the prohibited weapons and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Laurel says, hard to find the unknown. Yeah, well, I was lucky on this one. Allie says my food was good. Jim and Silky not so good. I'm sorry. And I'm thinking, what the hell have I posted anything about firearms lately? And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It can't be. It can't be the bill that's been presented in Congress that they're trying to restrict, prohibit all online sales, all ammunition sales must be done in person. Everybody who sells ammunition must have a federal ammunition license, and they have got to report all what they call bulk orders to the federal government. But they don't specify what bulk orders is. Gus says, quick note, John didn't call me. I knew it was bad. A quick note, John didn't call me. I knew it was bad. What? I don't know what you're talking about. And so then I went and I looked through my image gallery, and sure as shit, I had used a bulk ammo picture, like you find in any gun store. And they've got rows of boxes of ammo, and they're all on a shelf. And that's what I used as a picture. And sure as shit, it was gone. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, the Facebook issue? No, I didn't call you. I got it sorted out fast enough. I tell you, it ruined my whole day. Monday, even though I got it sorted out, I was fucking pissed. But so I get back in contact with them, and I go, no, you misunderstood what it was about. I said, I'm not selling shit. I said, and it was a news article is what it was. It was news. So shortly thereafter, they went back and they looked at it again. They're like, oh, yeah. Hey, yeah, oops, our mistake. Before they start restricting, I was demonetized. As it is right now, it still says I can't do live streams. I can't create ads. And that's because of the other violation. But at least I'm monetized, but I couldn't do anything. Couldn't invite anybody. Could not invite anybody to like or follow my page. I mean, I was shut down. For all intents and purposes, I was shut down. And if I got any other infraction, they were going to totally remove my page. It's like, oh, no way. No way. No way. So I was mad. I was on fire. So they restored everything. It's like you don't be pulling this shit when I'm starting to make a little bit of money. Working my ass off, making a little bit of, very little bit of money, but I'm making a little bit of money. You don't be pulling this shit. So, yeah. You folks might have noticed I'm up past 27,000 now. Or is it after 28,000? I think I'm over 28,000 now. Let me go see. Yeah, I'm over 28,000. I didn't tell anybody when I passed 27. And I didn't tell anybody when I passed 28. I think I'll make an announcement after 30. Hey, Judy, welcome to the show. Gus says that's great. Yeah, I work damn hard. I've been working damn hard. Again, that doesn't, I mean, I was at a standstill. For a week, I only got in like 150 followers. And I've been getting in at least 1,000 a week. So I've been hustling again, trying to get those numbers up. But, yeah. Laurel's got a heads up on one of the topics that I was going to talk about tonight. Hey, Kay, welcome to the show. I wrote out something on my page, and I thought better of posting it. It would have caused too many heads to explode. Laurel says, and it's a good one. It's something I haven't seen any other commentator tackle. Commentator. It is a commentator. I said it right. It doesn't sound right. A commentator. That's like a dictator or a tater salad. Commentator. Why does it not sound right when I say it? God, I must be tired. I am tired. I have not seen any other commentator to see it doesn't sound right. They're too scared to? Yeah, I'll bet you they are. Because it's going to piss off a lot of people. Now, an old gal, she posted up. Let me pull this picture up. And this is what sparked it. You see those gals there? You see those gals there? Now, real quick, I want you to look. See if we can go bigger. New tab. We'll go here. Here we go. Now I want you to look. Look at these gals here. And these are the gals, and the pictures that they're holding is a picture of them when they were younger. Now these girls look all pissed off. Okay, right. Now look at these girls. And look at the ages in the pictures. You got it? You're looking at the youngest maybe 16. They looked over 18. Well, good guess. They're anywhere. These are definitely oh my goodness. These are definitely they're not little girls. Okay? They're not little girls. Okay. Now, those women are some of the victims from the Epstein crap. Okay? Now, this company Kay says they are to be respected if they're victims, period. No, they don't. Now I'll tell you why. And you can choose to stay on the show or not. But give me an ear. These gals were paid to do this commercial. And these gals are claiming that they were silenced. And they're demanding that all of the Epstein files be released. Because there needs to be a voice for the victims. And they're victims. And they're silenced. No, they're fucking not. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm here for the whole show. There you go. So here you go. They're paid. They were all part of a lawsuit that was settled. They were paid, and they were paid big fucking bucks. And they signed an NDA. If you settle a lawsuit and you get paid big bucks and you sign an NDA, keep your fucking face out of the camera. Because you're not a victim anymore. You got compensated. This is a political stunt, and it's bullshit. And as for these girls being victims, no, they weren't. And in fact, the vast majority of the girls that were quote-unquote victims of Epstein weren't victims. Kay says an NDA means nothing these days. Right, it doesn't. Even Elon Musk told him any woman to include these that wanted to come forward and name names, and they're not naming names. Name fucking names. That Elon Musk would cover their legal bills. And nobody's taking him up on it. This is bullshit. Now I'll tell you why most of the quote-unquote victims weren't victims. Because they weren't. Because a law was broken. Epstein was charged with trafficking underage. And there's another thing. Everybody loves to call Epstein a PDF file. Now, I have to say that or else YouTube's they'll shut me down. Epstein, nor nobody that he dealt with, was a PDF file. Not a single fucking one of them. That's why I posted up today. I wish people would learn the definitions of stuff. They just learn a bad word, something that's supposed to hurt somebody, and they just toss it around. Every single girl that Epstein was involved with was well past the age of puberty. They were older teenage girls. The whole thing is like, yeah, Epstein liked young girls. Yeah, he didn't like 8-year-olds. He liked older teens. As long as they looked young, he didn't care. But you know what? That's what every rich man out there is going for. That's what sports stars are doing. That's what college guys are doing. Hell, when we were all in school, it was the same damn thing. As soon as a girl started having titties and she realized that older guys were interested in her, well, there was her ticket. Kay said, I have no sympathy. Yeah, neither do I. Again, people have to listen to what I fucking say and not what I didn't say. Epstein was a fucking scumbag. He was a complete turd muncher. He was raw sewage, as was most of the people that hung around with him. Doesn't mean that these girls were victims. Because girls from the time, they realize that they've got this golden ticket, they use it to their advantage. They go to college parties and they spread their legs. They want popularity. They want to be in the in crowd. They see rich people the same way as casting couches. I don't give a shit. Okay, so you went on a casting, you didn't know what the fuck you were getting into? You made a choice. Oh, I had to do this. No, you didn't. You made a choice. Agency. Well, if he solicited them, I don't give a fuck if he solicited them or not. I'm not saying he didn't break the law. What I'm saying is they're not a fucking victim. There's a difference between him breaking the law and them being a victim. They knew what they were getting into, and a good many of these gals, once they turned 18, started bringing in other gals. Ain't nobody fooled. Nobody was fooled into going to Epstein's Island. Nobody was fooled into going to any of his parties or hotel rooms. Everybody knew what the hell they were doing. To be a victim, they had to snatch them off the street. They had to lie to them. They had to kidnap them, and then they had to sexually abuse them. Every one of these girls, to my knowledge, that does not fit the case. But everybody goes, oh, but they were victims. No, they made stupid choices. Everybody used everybody. You don't think that these girls weren't using these rich and famous guys because they saw themselves as pretty women. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get, swept away. I'm going to have a good time. They were using everybody just like they were being used. Everybody was using each other in a different way. Wasn't a fucking victim there. Choices. People made choices. And nobody's got enough balls to say it out there. That's like women going and sleeping with a guy and then regretting it the next day and claiming that she was ard. No, she just made a bad choice. She made a bad decision. These girls made bad decisions. Kay said, if they were younger than the legal age of consent, that is a... Did I say it wasn't a legal problem? Kay, I'm going to say this one more time. And if you don't get it, I'll fucking boot you off the show. I'll do that. Because you're not listening. There's a difference between a legal problem and being a victim. I already said there was a legal problem. What Epstein did was illegal. Doesn't mean they were fucking victims. They were willing participants. There's what the law says, and there's reality. The law says he broke the fucking law. The reality is they weren't victims. They knew what the fuck they were getting into. And in any other situation, these girls at the exact same age would be screaming to high heaven that they're autonomous people. They know what the fuck they're doing. They knew what they're doing. You want to grab... You know, sometimes getting folks to participate is like pulling teeth. And then there's other times when people don't know when to shut the fuck up. Tonight's coffee is hazelnut cream, New England brand. Young girls under the age of consent have been fucking guys for all of eternity. And that's like I also say, oh, gee, you want to make a legal distinction? Now, I'm not saying that it's okay for a guy, let's say 35 years old, to screw a 16-year-old girl. I think he should have something better to do with his life. But I say, what's the fucking difference between a 16-year-old girl screwing a 17-year-old boy or a 16-year-old girl screwing a 35-year-old man? What's the fucking difference? Unless there's coercion or there's a power dynamic involved there, there's not a fucking difference. Women have been playing this game. I had this discussion with the missus. It's only until modern times when we've turned grown adults into children. And when I say grown adults, when your body is mature enough to have children, throughout history, you were an adult. You were married and you started your life. That's just the way it is. It's only until recent times in history where they go, no, 18. Okay. When a girl was 16, she was married. When she was 15, she was married. It depended upon how was she physically. Now that said, girls have known as soon as they start attracting the older guys, they knew the power they had, and they've been screwing the older guys. So we call it statutory R, but we only prosecute if the dude is older than 18. But if you're younger than 18, well, they can do whatever the fuck they want to. Well, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? You're going to put a man in prison for being 22, screwing a 17-year-old girl, but that 17-year-old girl can screw anybody she wants under the age of 18 and nobody gets charged with a damn thing? How the hell does that make any sense? It doesn't. That's the same way as underage drinking. Well, what does it matter who gave you the fucking beer? So if a 20-year-old who is under the age of drinking gives a 17-year-old a beer, does it just wash it away? No, they're both charged with underage. So why is it sex is different? It doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not advocating for people to have sex with people under the age of 18. I'm not advocating that one bit. Not doing it. What I'm saying is legally it makes no sense. Biologically, it makes no sense. It's arbitrary. It doesn't make sense. So that's why I say, unless these girls they didn't go there of their own free will. They were kidnapped. And then they were R'd. If it isn't that, then they weren't victims. They were participants. And many of them profited from it later. I'm not saying it was right that everybody did it, but let's just stop making saints out of girls who made bad decisions. Oh, they're victims. No, they were victims of their own stupidity. You can guarantee that they were smiling and flashing their tits and rubbing up against guys every place Epstein brought them to. You can rest assured on that. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be brought back. Nobody's honest about this shit. I'm not victim shaming. I'm pointing out who's a fucking victim and isn't. If there's a true victim in there, in other words, they were kidnapped and they were R'd. And they were made to do stuff. I'm saying made to do stuff, not like, oh, they were coerced in it. People coerce each other into doing the shit all the time. Boys and girls back in high school coerce each other into doing shit all the time. So no, sorry, not playing that fucking game. Agency, you still get to choose. If you weren't being forced to do it. I'm going to kill your parents. I'm going to kill your little sister. Okay, yeah, you're being forced. I'm going to tell your mommy that you did this. You're not being forced. You're not. I'm sorry. You made a choice. You want to keep it quiet? You're going to let them have leverage on you? Fine. But you're not being forced. That's a choice. And then the investigations and then all of this stuff. I mean, Epstein was already tried and convicted. And these girls weren't coming forward and naming names until now. Until now. Shut the fuck up. This is a political game. You're not a fucking victim. Now, here's another thing. Biden could have released all the documents if he wanted to, and these people are saying the horseshit of no, it was sealed. Yeah, it was sealed until the end of 2025. Till the end of 2025. Not the very end either, but close to the end of 2025. When did Joe Biden leave office? When did he leave office? Anybody know that? Give me a rough date. January 20th, 2026. How long do you think it takes to drop a bunch of documents? A day? A week? 2 weeks? How long do folks think? They expect Trump to just drop them. Trump dropped million-plus documents, and then they bitched about it. Laura says 5 seconds. Yeah, however long the servers take to do it. They've got it all on file. Boom. Put it out there. Let's say a week at a long time, taking your time putting them all out there. That's working just turtle's pace. So Joe Biden had more than enough time to drop the Epstein files. The reason he didn't drop the Epstein files is twofold, okay? The first is, ain't shit there to implement Donald Trump. If it was, they'd have brought that shit out a long time ago. Number two, most of it's bullshit. It's a mountain of steaming horse shit. I've read the documents, not all of them, but I've read a bunch of them. He said, she said, somebody talked shit about this, somebody made this claim, somebody called in and made this. This is, it's most of it is pure bullshit. And that's what happens in an investigation. I even posted this online. There's a reason why the general public is not privy to documents and evidence collected in a criminal investigation. Number one, nobody's fucking entitled to it. That's another thing that just blows my mind. Anybody that thinks that they are entitled to see the Epstein documents, you're full of shit. What a bunch of hubris-having sons of mothers. You've got no... Oh, you don't deserve shit. Who the hell are you? Who am I? Are you a victim? Are you a prosecutor? Are you do the investigations? Who the hell are you? You're not entitled to shit. No, you'd like to know. Kay said Trump is releasing the files, but the redactions don't. I don't give a shit about the redactions looking good. I really don't. Do you know what the redactions are? No, because they're redacted. Anybody who okay, so you're reading fucking tea leaves. People are reading tea. Oh, the redactions don't look. Of course they're going to redact shit. There's a bunch of information that the general public shouldn't fucking know. I don't think any of the documents. There's something like Matt Walsh is like, yeah, I've been calling for the release. From day one, I said, nope. No. Why? Because I've been there and done that. The general public is not suited. They're not qualified to look over mountains of fucking evidence. And there's going to be things redacted. So people are going to make shit up. Oh, I guess it's going to be, yeah. Yeah. Because if you don't do that, there's going to be a big, major shitstorm out there. Major. People's lives are going to be ruined over nothing. Absolutely nothing. People don't know what they don't know their ass from the head. Oh, God. They haven't done investigations. I've done investigations. They haven't been in court. I've been in court. They haven't dealt with victims. I've dealt with victims. They haven't dealt with criminals. I've dealt with criminals. And the general public, as much as they think that they fucking know because they've watched a TV series or a movie, doesn't know shit about the process. And they couldn't, to save their own lives, look at things with an impartial eye. We've seen that time and time again. Like Kay said, oh, the redactions don't look good, see? They don't look anything. Because you don't know what's there. You don't know anything. Which is why you don't release the documents. Period. That's why that's why I said they just need to do the look. I had said, here's my main issue with the Epstein thing. If Epstein committed these crimes, there had to have been other people participating in it. Why is nobody else charged? Nobody. Just him and Maxwell? How unrealistic is that? That there was this big sex ring going around, and he was supplying girls everywhere, and they were going to the island, and it wasn't just to the island, folks. It was all over the place. And nobody else was involved? Well, then why is he bringing the girls there? That's what got me. Allie says, I'll help. People didn't know another ass from home. Thank you. Yes. I don't know if you were here when I mentioned I am dead tired. The neighbor was snow blowing before 4 o'clock in the morning. It's been a long day. But people think they got a good beat on things, and they don't. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Could be right, but it'd be dumb luck because they don't know. They don't know. And that's the danger of getting the general public involved in an investigation. My only complaint was, you know that there's shit out there, and you know that there's people that were involved, and you're not prosecuting them. That's what I had. I don't need to see the names. The important part is I know the number, 0. And that's an impossibility. That's an impossibility. There had to have been people. If Epstein was bringing these girls to sleep with people, they had to sleep with somebody. Those people who slept with them were committing a crime. Again, I'm not saying that makes these girls victims, but I'm saying statutorily they committed a crime. Why are the only two people that were charged and convicted were Epstein and Maxwell? It doesn't make sense. That's what I had a problem with. I didn't care about don't show me the files. I knew there was a shit ton of files. And like I said, I've done investigations. I know the types of shit that's collected. It's everything. And the vast majority that's collected gets thrown out. Doesn't even get presented. It's just nothing. That's like people online trying to argue with me. They don't realize that. Did you know that the standard is credible threat, not threat? Everybody thinks, oh, if you make a threat, you're committing a crime and somebody's gonna come and arrest you. No, that's not how it works. It's credible threat. Case said dropping the files was a mistake because they are too raw and don't make for illegal. Right. That's the reason. There's no context. There's no nothing. The general public doesn't need to see this shit. Allie says, I tuned in your show tonight at the same time as Laurel. Oh, okay. Okay, so you heard that. Okay. But yeah. But again, and people think they know the laws about shit. Oh, somebody made a threat against you online, so they're going to get arrested. No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, it crossed state lines, so get the FBI involved. Okay. They're going to look and they're going to go, you live where? They live where? What's the circumstances? Yeah, not getting involved. There's only one exception, but then they still don't. More cases than not, if there's a threat against the president or somebody like that, then they'll send the Secret Service in and they'll just do an investigation real quick and clear it off the books. It's that simple. It must be a credible threat. Because how many times does somebody say, I'm going to fucking kick your ass? Oh, okay. And how many times do they actually follow through? Yeah, no. Bob, I'm going to kill you. Really? No. Most threats are not credible threats. They must be a credible threat. Kay says, yeah, show me the legal case, names and included, and then we can have a serious conversation. Right. That's what I always said. I don't care about the mountains of files. I want to see some cases, and then we can discuss things. Gus says, people truly don't understand the wording of the law. As you always say, words matter. Right. And technicalities fucking matter. That's why I'm very careful with my words. That's why I didn't say that I had any sympathy for Epstein. He's a piece of shit. I'm just saying these girls aren't the victims they're being played out to be. They made choices. They were victims of their own choices. Not every situation has a good guy and a bad guy in it. It was a big cesspool. Like I said, and I've pointed this out, this shit's still going on. People think it isn't? Shit. Go to any sports party. Go to any college party. Go to any business party. Laurel says all were bad guys. Right. There wasn't a fucking angel there. Not a single angel there. Kay says, will there be any Wayne Newton music tonight? No. No. But no. Everybody likes to white hat, black hat. No, they're all gray hats. They're all gray hats. People act like, see, this is the whole thing when they think about the Epstein victims. They're like, oh, they went to a grade school and kidnapped a bunch of girls and threw them in a van and whisked them off to Fantasy Island where they had to pleasure dirty old men. No. You want to know what it looks like? Remember those pictures of Donald Trump and he was at the Miss USA pageant, had all those young girls and they got smiles on their faces and he's got his arms around them. That's every party that you've ever seen. None of the girls there are innocent victims. Everybody knows what the hell's going on. Oh, gee, the girl's 16 years old. Epstein goes, you want to go to across the state lines to this other place? We're having a get together with a bunch of my friends. Yeah, you and your girlfriend, you can come along. You think they didn't fucking know what was going on? Really? Really? And I have this too. If it was my daughter, I'd go, how the hell did you know these people? What the fuck? You're 16, 17 years old and you're flying off to some island? What the hell? Laura says, at 16, hell yeah. Yeah. And then again, let's stop and think about this. This is 2000. This is past the 2000s. You can even go back 30 years. 30 years ago, 14, 15-year-old girls knew the deal back then. Again, they knew the deal when we were kids. And that was a good many years past 30, 40 years ago. They knew the deal. Young girls have been going to concerts and fucking the musicians and the roadies since musicians traveled around. Think they didn't? Gus says, hey, I'm not that old. Well, except for Gus. I forget. He graduated, what was it, 14, 15 years ago. But no, this shit ain't new. You can't play it both ways. Oh, girls are so smart and so intelligent, so mature, and oh, gee, they just got taken advantage of. They didn't know what was going on. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They've been sleeping with college professors for grades. They've been sleeping with jocks for status. They've been whoring around with the wealthy so that they could maybe, Laurel says bullshit. What? What, that they didn't know? Of course they fucking knew. It's a tale as old as time. But not a single commentator out there has had the balls to say it. Not a single one. That goes, where was the agency of the... Because they don't want to victim blame. Well, see, there you go. I like to establish whether there was a victim in the first place. Laura says goes against the narrative. Right. And you want to see my following drop to nothing? Post that shit on Facebook. Because people are stupid. That's the same shit when I posted up that I thought that if you're on public assistance, while you're on public assistance, that's welfare. I'm not talking about Social Security and Medicare and stuff like that. When you're on public assistance, Section 8, WIC, welfare, food stamps, the whole 9 yards. You shouldn't be allowed to vote. Oh, no, but I know some good people. It doesn't matter if they're good people. And people are like, so you don't want the poor to vote. It has nothing to do, has nothing to do with being poor. If you're poor, but you're not taking the taxpayer money in the form of public assistance, you get to vote. It's about public assistance. It's not about being poor. Nobody wants to think it through. Oh, my daughter-in-law or my sister-in-law did this, blah, blah, blah. Laurel says if you have skin in the game. Yeah, that's what the founding fathers want. It was basically one vote per household of a land-owning family or a landowner. Normally it was a male. But I've said this before. There was females that voted. It just wasn't codified in law, but females voted. If a female was married, she had a family, and her husband had property, and he died, and it's her property now, she generally got to vote. The same way as, it's only for white people. No, it didn't say anywhere for white people. It was just that most people were white. It wasn't racial. It was who had skin in the game. The founding fathers didn't want everybody to vote. They're like, no, that's terrible. You're taking away people's basic right to vote. It's, Jesus. We take away convicts' rights to vote too. And I'm against when they're done, they should get their rights restored. And I was the same way. When it comes to people on public assistance. If you're on public assistance, you can't vote in that election period. Kay asks, what's wrong with having to present ID for voting? Nothing wrong with it. And they're still trying to promote the SAVE Act is supposed to be, it's going to prevent these women from voting. How? Well, because they have to prove that they're a citizen, and since they have a new married name, it's like, look, if it takes you over a year to get this is 2026. If it takes you over a year to get the documentation you need to prove you're a citizen, you definitely don't deserve to vote. Because you don't even need to go back to the place where you were born. If you know where you were born, you just call up the town hall. And sometimes now you just call one place in the state and say, hey, I need my birth certificate. This is my information. Here's my money. And they go, there you go. We'll send it to you. Laurel said that's so freaking... It is. But then there's other people out there lying. I saw a video and the guy was saying, yeah, you don't need that because a real ID shows that you're a citizen. No, it fucking doesn't. Yes, it does. Both statements are true. Now, why? The federal government's website, if you look it up, it'll say, yes, the real ID designates that you're a citizen, your status as a citizen. And you go, yeah, depends upon what state you're in, because not all real IDs across the nation are exactly the same. Some states, like New Hampshire, does not indicate your citizenship on your real ID. How do I know? I fucking have one. I sold guns. I sold guns with a federal firearms license. I can tell you in the state of New Hampshire, the real ID does not indicate, and in fact a good many other ones, whether you are a legal citizen or not. It indicates that you're in the country legally. There's a difference. Now, some states, it does indicate, but many states, it does not. And a lot of people are under that misconception. But people think they know something. They don't. They don't. Laurel says, how convenient. Yeah, it's. I think they all should. And the reason why, and here's the reason why. Because you have to give them the same information. Now the missus went for a real ID, right? She had to provide the marriage license, her birth certificate, her social security number. That proves that she's a citizen. No, it actually just proved it does, but all they cared about was that she was a legal resident in the United States. That's it, that she was here legally. So there you go, boom. The license doesn't indicate, except that you're in the United States legally. It's an enhanced security license. That's all it is. Enhanced background license. But yeah, I sold plenty of guns to people with real IDs that also had to have their green cards. Gus says, I refuse to get it. There's going to be a time where you don't have a choice. Because most of the states are switching over. But yeah, I sold plenty of guns to people who were not citizens. You go, you can sell a gun to somebody that isn't a citizen? Yes, you can. There's... You can't sell it to somebody here on a tourist visa. They've got to be a permanent resident. They've got to be a permanent resident. And as a permanent resident, as long as all other things stack up, then... but I didn't sell any to Chinese. Laurel says, I have my passport. Yeah. I don't have a passport. I don't have one. Because I always traveled on my military ID. So I just didn't get a passport. And once I got back to the States, I had no interest in leaving. Gus says, I don't fly. I have no reason to give a federal building, maybe a post office. No, I get it. But what I'm saying is most all the states, they're doing away with standard driver's license. They're all going to go to real ID. So at some point, when you have your license renewed, whether you want to go in a federal building or not, it's going to have to be a real ID. Because it's going to be the default. In my opinion, once a state offers a real ID, it should be the default. And the reason is it keeps people who are here illegally from getting a license. And they all should show citizenship status on it. Problem solved. I've said for ages that I believe that we need a citizenship ID card. A driver's license, the real ID is the perfect way. And people are like, no, we're not like Germany where people are going to ask for your papers. It's like, really? You ever opened up a bank account? There are things, start utilities. There's countless things in our society that you need an ID for. Countless. And nobody has a problem with it. Gus says, I laminated my Social Security card and they refused to take it. Said it would have to apply. Right, yeah, because you're not supposed to laminate them. Here's another interesting thing. I don't even know why it matters. Because it's not a form of ID. Mine's getting pretty ragged. Trying to sync here. Oh, and here's another thing. Do not carry it with you. It's right on. Do not carry it with you, it says. I always carry it with me. I'm trying to see where it says, because it used to have, this is not a form of ID. Yeah, I guess they've taken it off. I don't see it on here. So I'm trying to remember when I did it, but I bet it was in the 70s. Yeah. And they say you're not supposed to take it. I always keep it with me, with my driver's license. But yeah, it's not. All it does is it identifies that name belongs to that Social Security number. That's all it does. It doesn't say you are the person. It just says that name and that signature is linked to that Social Security number. That's all it is. And then that's why you need a photo ID. And then they look at the signature and the name and the name, and they go, good to go. Laurel says, unfortunately, here in Kentucky, our idiot governor, wannabe King Andy, decided to go with a regional driver's licensing office and did away with the county and states. Been a major cluster. Yeah, that is a pain. Kay says in many states they issue driver's licenses to non-legal residents. That's the definition, right? And they brag about it, and they boasted. California did it. There was, I think Minnesota did it. And in fact, Tim Walz, I believe, bragged about it. It's like, no. Because if you're non-legal residents, you shouldn't even, here you go. If you're a lot of people don't understand this too. Do you know that you can use your driver's license in other countries? And they can use their driver's licenses in the United States? If you're visiting, you can use your other, there's reciprocity. Kay says Mass is such a state. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. It's stupid. It's like, why are you doing that? Just it doesn't make the road safer. It just allows to, and what's even more, it's even worse when they got those what do they call it? Those the programs that as soon as you get your license, you're registered to vote. It's got a name, but you know what I'm talking about. So as soon as you get your driver's license, you're now registered to vote. I can tell you, when I lived in Manchester, I know damn well when I went voting there, I know damn well a good bunch of those people were not legal to vote, but they voted. But they voted. Here's another thing that just chaps my ass about voter IDs. Isn't the fact about the voter ID. There's plenty of states that require it. New Hampshire requires it. But in the state of New Hampshire, if you show up and you don't have your license, no worries. You just sign an affidavit stating that you are who you are, and then you vote. Gus says you couldn't get away with that in our town. No, it's a small town. Because it probably got, But yeah, if you, in the state of New Hampshire, all you got to do is just sign an affidavit that you're legal to vote. And they've made it far too easy. One of the things that people were saying is like, and I even pointed out, voting should be 1 day. 1 day. 1 day. Laura says Kentucky requires picture ID, at least in our county. Well, again, state of New Hampshire, officially, that's the case. You look at the laws and that's the case. But, so you might want to check into there to see whether or not they allow that. I was shocked. It's like, you got to be kidding me. That kind of puts holes all through that. But what was I talking about? Voting 1 day. 1 day. And if you were working for a private company or whatever, unless you were a soldier or a government employee that was out of state at the time, you don't get to send in a ballot. Laurel says we're assigned to a precinct and most everyone knows that. Yeah, that helps. Gus says you can register to vote when you walk in. You just need ID to register. Right, yeah. We had a bunch of those. Last time I went voting. It's like you had 2 lines. I was in the speedy line. I was shocked how many people weren't registered yet. Kay says if you make it too easy to do the wrong thing, that's when people will do it. Yeah. And And then people are like, oh, I work. I don't care if you work. How about this? Make it by law that employers have to allow you time to go vote. Now, if the polling location is if it's open after you're done with work, fair enough. Go after work. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to stand around in the rain. Then you don't want to fucking vote. See, that's what it is. Everybody's fucking lazy. Lazy, lazy, lazy. If it ain't easy, they don't do it. Voting, you should have to go out of your way. Plan for it. You know what day it is. You know well in advance. Make it a priority in your life. And if it's not a priority, if it's like going and getting a cup of coffee, you shouldn't be voting. You shouldn't be voting. Make it a priority. If it's any kind of inconvenience, Jesus, the founding fathers should be rolling in their graves. Oh, and then people were comparing. Oh, okay, so you want to prevent people from voting that are on welfare. Okay, well, what if you're an employee of the government? You're voting and you can still vote money into your pocket. It's like, yeah, but it's your job. You're not just getting people's money. You're working for it. The government can fire your ass. You know, you're getting paid for a job. Welfare is not the same thing. You're not getting paid to do something. See, I don't think that's the government's role anyways. Laurel says exactly. And somebody goes, well, but the rich people, they benefit from it. It's like the rich people aren't getting taxpayers' money. Rich people keeping more of what they've earned isn't them getting anything from the taxpayer. See, people don't know what the hell they're talking about. And yeah, these are people on our side too. I try to tell people all the time, people love to wag their finger at the left. Say how stupid they are. You look around. Look around to your team. Look around. People don't read. They have no reading comprehension. They don't listen to what people say. They don't know what the hell they're talking about most of the time. Yeah, but the left is it's only them. Oh, and the left is nasty. The right's never nasty. No. The right's never nasty. Wake up. Now, I'll say overall, they're worse than the right. Yeah. Yeah. For a myriad of reasons. But the right's a bunch of people, too. I get my heckles up. I got my heckles up earlier. We ain't all saints. Had some jackwagon post. He says, "I never take somebody seriously that uses the word hogwash." All right, coachies. I use heckles, hogwash, hornswoggle, bullshit, horseshit. And that's not an argument. Using a word. Oh, he used a word. Don't take him serious. You didn't refute anything I said. Okay, you're going to try to discredit me because I used the word hogwash. Got it. Turn the fan on. It's actually got warm up in here. Come on now. There we go. But yeah, it's like, oh, goodness gracious. And then people like to pick a side. You got to be a good guy and a bad guy. It's like, no. Said this all the time. The whole thing like Syria. People are like, oh, back the rebels or back to... No. There's no good fight there. There's no good dog in the fight. They're all shitbirds. Afghanistan. Oh, we got the Taliban and we got the other one. They're all fucking shitbirds. Warn that shit. Warned about that. Oh, we need to... Oh, but they were working with us. We need to bring them into the... No, you don't. They're a bunch of Stone Age, backwards people that hate you. Kay says, but liberals. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Liberals, the modern left. I'm a classic liberal. I live a conservative life. I'm fiscally conservative. I am socially conservative. I'm religiously conservative. But I'm a classic liberal. You go, oh, that's a contradiction. No, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Modern liberalism, leftism, That's a different monster. That's a different monster. I am of the old school, like classic British liberalism. It's basic. It's conservatism. But it just, you let people make their own choices in life. Jesus was a liberal. You do what you do. But if you follow me and you want to get saved, this is what you got to do. Other than that, the choice is on you. Kay said, I should have said modern liberals. No, that's fine. It just opened up the door for me to make that distinction, which is if you follow my content on Facebook a lot, you'll see I make distinctions. I will usually say the left, modern liberals, and leftists, and or Democrats. I very seldom use the term liberals just by itself. Again, I'm very particular in my words. It's what gets me when people try and then they try to, oh, you meant that. No, I meant what I said. Oh, you should have said no. If I meant something different, I would have said that different thing. Read what I say. I'm very particular. It was funny. Had a guy in my and I forget what commentary it was under, and he's like, yeah, I see what you mean about that people just don't read. No, they don't. And I had some jackwagon. You might have seen that. Jackwagon, he sent me a private message, calling me names and stuff because he'd take Kid Rock over Dirty Bunny any day because blah, blah, blah. And he sent me the whole lyrics to one of his songs, and he called me dirty names and said I was stupid. It's like, let me guess. You just looked at the meme, but you didn't read what I wrote. Always read what I wrote. People do that. It's like, okay, I'm going to look at the meme that he's doing. Allie says, you are a classic liberal or classic Democrat. I thought the word liberal was a fairly new term in the political world. No. I'm not a classic Democrat. Never been a Democrat. I'm a classic liberal. It's an old term. That goes way back to standard British law, way before the United States. Yeah. Classic liberal is not. And being liberal is not a new political thing. Very old. Very old. Kay says, how about some Tom Jones tonight? No, they'll blow up my computer if I put on Tom Jones. But, yeah. The classic liberal goes back to the days of British common law and philosophies when Christianity took over. It's an old term. And then modern liberalism is really leftists. But no, I'm not a classic Democrat. Not a Democrat. That's another thing. I'm not a Republican either. And I'm not MAGA. Those who follow my content know I'm not MAGA. I always laugh when people call me MAGA. I'm not MAGA. I'm not MAGA. And I left the Republican Party, quite a long time ago. Now, that being said, I've always voted Republican. I vote what's available. I'll either vote nothing, and I've done that plenty of time, or I vote Republican. I'm not a libertarian. I'm not a anarchist. And I talked about this on most libertarians nowadays are anarchists. Anarchy never It's a step beyond libertarian. It'll never work. Anarchy is law of the jungle. But what they do is they think it's a utopia. Oh, you don't need laws. You don't need it because everybody's just going to do the right thing. Yeah. That lasts about 5 seconds. Because there's always going to be people out there that they're going to do what the hell they want to do. And if you don't have laws and mechanisms to protect your rights and those around you, they're going to wipe you out. Because that's human nature. So anarchy, they act like it's this great thing. It's not. It's dangerous. Anarchy is dangerous. Most people associate anarchy with chaos. It's not true. Anarchy is not chaos. But anarchy creates chaos. That's why people don't know the distinction. Now, the people who push anarchy, they act like, no, it's different. It's not chaos. It's just this. But they forget that, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to create chaos. Gus says, I always vote. I just feel it is my duty. Just my own opinion. No, I agree. It's everybody's duty to vote. But if you make a conscious decision not to, out of protest, that's also your duty. If you're just not voting because you don't want to vote, that's not the same as making a conscious issue. You know what I mean? There's been presidential elections I did not vote. I voted for myself. It was a conscious decision. That's the same way as like the anarchy. Let's go with universal basic income. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's a utopia." No, it's not. No, it's not. How do you know it's not? Well, they say if you give people money, okay, follow me here. If you give people money, so then they don't have to work, they're going to devote their life to other passions. They're going to work out. They're going to play music. They're going to sculpt. They're going to write a book. They're going to tend to their families. Sounds good, huh? You ever seen the welfare system? Allie said, Jim told me the MAGA movement was started by Reagan. I was too young at that time to know anything. Yeah, well, he was one iteration of it. Make America Great Again. It was one of his catchphrases. He wasn't the only one that did it. It's actually been used several times throughout history in the United States. But yeah, it's not a new phrase. I was hoping the Tea Party would catch on. Here's the thing with conservatives. They never follow through with shit. So as soon as they start to make headway, then they just, okay, and then they get on with their lives. I understand it. They get on with their lives and they just become productive members of society. The left doesn't do that. The left has an unending pool of people that have nothing better to do than their hornswoggle. And what pisses me off, he says, John, everything pisses you off. Yeah. Is Alex says, I'll tell Jim, but he will probably tell me he already knows. Yeah. It's everything's recycled. He was the last big one. He's the last one in our lifetime that did Make America Great. Gus says the Tea Party and Ross Perot. Well, Ross was a character. Ross. Can I finish? You know what Ross Perot's problem was? He was unpalatable to the masses. It matters. How you sound and how you look matters. We've talked about that before. People go, oh, look shouldn't matter. Yeah, it matters. It matters. Kennedy would not have been as popular as he was if it wasn't for TV. As soon as TV entered the picture, no pun intended, politics changed. How you look, how you sound matters. Before that, it was radio. If you sounded presidential on the radio, you were good. And then we're just making posters of you anyways. So you got posters, and then you got if you sounded good. That was good. Then television came along. You had to look good and sound good. Ross Perot's problem is he did not look good, did not sound good. He was a weird, quirky man. Allie says, why does the name Ross Perot sound so... Can I finish? Can I finish? Yeah. They used during the presidential debates. They just want to keep... Can I finish? I'll pull up Ross Perot. He's a little troll-looking dude. No, you don't have to be sorry. You don't have to be sorry. This is Ross Perot. There he is. That's Ross Perot. Ross Perot was running for president, and was he an independent? Smart guy. Yeah, Ross Perot, really smart guy. Really smart guy. Allie says, oh, okay, yeah. Short little guy. He's a little itty-bitty guy. What, was he an independent? No, Reform Party. He was a member of the Reform Party. So I was like, okay, I know he wasn't a Democrat. He wasn't a Republican. He was a member of the Reform Party. And if you just went on his policies, he was the right man. No, he wasn't Tea Party. He was the Reform Party. Tea Party came after Perot. Let's see. Tea Party movement came in 2009. Yeah, the Tea Party movement, it's past the millennium. That's in the last 20 years. And Perot ran in what? When did he run? 80s? 80-something? Let's see here. When did he run for president? 92. So he ran in the early 90s. And Tea Party was 2000 and, what did I say, 9? Something like that. So we're at 20 years difference. But yeah, if he just went, and then he was too cantankerous. He could have had a good position in government, but he's too cantankerous. Funny fella, smart, really smart, but didn't have the voice, didn't have the looks, didn't have the gravitas. Kind of quirky personality. Allie says I was 14 in 92. You squirt, you. You squirt. Morton, his own company. Morton. What do you mean Morton? Morton, his own company. Mostly his own money. Yeah. He pulled the Donald Trump move with finances. But yeah, well, hell, the Reform Party wasn't it was smaller than even the Libertarian Party is now. Morton, his own money. Yeah. But yeah, he just couldn't. Looks and sounds, they matter. They matter. Excuse me. See, I'm just shy of being too ugly. Just shy of having a voice people can't listen to. So I'm okay. As long as I keep my hat on. But no, I couldn't get into politics. I'd be knocking teeth out. I'd get into 1880s politics. That's okay. But yeah. Oh, goodness. We got half an hour left. Sorry, typos. No, that's okay. That was one that I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure that one out. Jim is a cradle robber. He was 23 in 92. Yeah. Oh. My goodness. He was with a 14-year-old. He goes, no, not that. No. Oh, goodness. No, it's all good. The older you get, the age differences don't matter as much. They really don't. They just Jim was a baby too. I was tromping around. 92, I was tromping around and shooting at people. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Oh. Trap's kind of tightening up on me. Allie said he was married to his first wife at the time. And now he's with you, living in sin. Living in sin, you sinner. Sinner. Oh, I was going to say, and then I got sidetracked. Yeah, I got my router. My router came in today. Now, I got a a hand router called Trim Router. It's the one that came with my whole toolkit. It's the small one. I'm like, I gonna need something more than that. So I got myself a routing table, and I got myself a router with a solid base and a plunge base, and I got some other goodies coming in, and I got my table saw ordered. I'm going with Skeel table saw, but I got some goodies that it's gonna get all decked out. Oh, she nice. But for my router setup, I went with Bosch. As I got delivered today, I said to the missus, "Oh my gosh, I got my Bosch." So they're sitting in the living room. I got because I haven't put the table together. So I got the router table and I got the router combo sitting on top of it. It's by the couch. But yeah, I'm just decking them out with all the stuff specifically designed for the products that I'm going to make. Because I'm going to be doing like boxes and charcuteries and all sorts of shit like that. But so I don't need I don't need something really huge. I need something that's going to do precision work with a relative small space. I also took one of my toolboxes. I didn't like it. The top comes up, and that's fine. And then the drawers come out, but they don't come out when you want them to come out, and they come out when they don't want them to come out. I got the tools. I got those all switched over into my tool chest. Gus says, "Don't waste your money on cheap bits. They don't last." Yeah, I went middle of the road right now, just so I can start getting some stuff out there. OT says I voted for him. He must have been talking about Ross Perot. Allie says he's scared of marriage after what his psycho wife did to him. He was dumb enough to stay married to her for 23 years. He did it for his kids, he said. As for me, I'm not marriage material. Okay, here you go. Here's my thoughts on that. You didn't ask, but it's my show. Don't live with anybody that isn't marriage material. If you're living together and you're doing fine, you must be marriage material. Now, I can understand his hesitance. I do. I get it. But it's good that he stuck with her until the kids were grown and on their own. That's a good move. I hope everybody stays, and that's fine, but at least stay together till the kids get up and gone. But yeah, why do you figure you're not marriage material? It's kind of an odd thing to say. Did y'all see my meme? You see my conservative guy trying to find himself a wife? Oh, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can pull this up. It was funny. Allie says, been married and divorced 3 times. Dang, girl. Well, you finally found a good one this time? Here's the meme I put up the other day. Conservative men trying to find a suitable wife and liberal woman. That was close. It's Neo from The Matrix, and he's dodging the bullets. Oh, my goodness. Laurel says, so what? Sounds like you have a keeper now, Allie. Here's a funny thing. Seen this a lot of times. People they cohabitate for years and years, sometimes decades, and then they get married and then shit goes to hell. I don't get that. I don't get that. They got a mental block or something like that. If you're with somebody, you should be treating each other like spouse anyways. The only difference is the vows. Just admit it. You don't like his last name. Oh man. Yeah, tighten up. Tighten up. I had to get the missus to give me a massage. Gus says everyone has a path. Just walk it and enjoy it. Yeah. Allie says, did you get my message? Me? Oh, I just send it. Did you just send me a message? No, it's not on here. You didn't send it on Facebook, did you? Laurel says, Tommy and I lived together before we got married. We considered ourselves a married couple from the get-go. So now let me go back to the last message that came up for me on here was been married and divorced 3 times. That's it. Oh, I'm so excited about the shop. Like a kid in a candy store. I told you before, I had a full shop. But I had big equipment. This is going to be a micro shop. Little equipment. Man, my shop in Pennacook, the whole basement wrapped all the way around. Wrapped all the way around the furnace. An island in the middle. And I had a big door and walkway that went out the back. So get in from the ground floor to the basement that way. I miss my stuff. When I had to leave there, man, they sold that place out from underneath me and then went from there to Manchester. That hurt. That hurt. That hurt. Something fierce. I tell you, the day I sold, I think one day it was, I think one day I sold like 5 pieces of equipment to some feller. He was tickled as pink. He got his truck. And he's like, yes, because I sold it at pennies on the dollar. Allie says, apparently I'm a bit of a female dog and a chatty Cathy, and I drove people crazy. That's why I'm not marriage material, in my opinion. Well, he's still with you. Gus says some states living together don't matter if something happens. Yeah, common law marriage, and different states have different time periods on that. Nah, you just need a man that can tune you out. Tune you up. Oh, Jim's probably going, dang. That's some biblical shit right there. Oh, my goodness. Allie says, because I'm younger and cute and I make him feel young. Well, there you go. Well, he ain't that old. Laurel says, not Kentucky. Yeah, but Kentucky, you can marry your sister. I don't know. I don't know if you can or can't. I don't think you can. I don't think any state allows that now, but oh, Kentucky. You hear the banjos playing. Oh, goodness gracious. You people are terrible. Terrible. Laurel says, nope, they actually ask if you're related when you go to... Yeah, I bet they do. I bet they do. I bet they do. Yep. Allie says, he may not be old to you, but he is to some people. He gets mistaken for my dad sometimes. Nah. It'll be okay. Gus says, stop it. Laura says, I told them not yet. Yeah, you related not yet. Soon to be. Soon to be. You give me that license. Dang it. Kentucky. Yep. Okay, what now? My brain just froze up. Just, bing. Got that little thing on the computer screen that just goes around in a circle. That's what my brain did. Oh, hey, stop talking. I'm still breathing. Is Jim playing Horizon now? I think I scared most folks off. I was a bit cantankerous. Allie said he was. What's he doing now? I still ain't got a new song recorded for you folks yet. He's eating? Yeah. Laura says I don't get scared. What? I don't get it. I don't think I've snapped at you, Laurel. I don't think I've had to. Oh, you said it scared people off. Well, you just ride the wave. I don't think I've ever snapped at you. I think I've snapped at Judy once. Gus says I have a big lag going on. It sucks. Did you try to restart it? Laurel says nope. You weren't here for the last show because she was sleeping. But Peggy, I snapped at Peggy the last show. I'm like, no, nothing personal, Peggy. And she didn't make it. She didn't make it the show this time. I wonder what's up with Peggy. But I snapped at her last time. I've snapped more than once to Jeff. I think I barked at Gus maybe once or twice. Got Kay tonight. Kay got it tonight. OT never barked at him. He doesn't say much anything. Y'all get your chance. I don't know, Laurel's she gave me no reason. She gave me no reason. Did you restart your system there, Gus? See, if you log out and then log back in. Oh, we got a there we go. Came back on. We got a conductivity issue. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that jump, but I went totally offline and back on again. Laurel says, this is my entertainment. I gave up cable. You mean my show is your only entertainment? Please don't tell me that's. Allie says, yes, you did. Yeah, I dropped off and I came right back. Yeah, that's weird. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't have cable. I have internet. So I got Netflix and I got some other stuff, but most of it's crap. I usually use YouTube, though. I lay in bed and turn on YouTube on the TV. I watch my woodworking videos and my history videos and I like the what's wrong, everything wrong with. If you if you haven't seen that, go on YouTube. Everything wrong with. They do movies and stuff, so you get your favorite movie. Everything wrong with, whatever the name of the movie is. Did you have a big wedding when you got married? No, I didn't. It was mostly family. And the missus's, her mother was a justice of the peace. So she officiated, and it was in our living room. So we did all the catering. It was in our living room. The missus baked the cake, and I decorated the cake. I had hundreds of flowers that I did the little roses, the frosting roses. So did them up in a day in advance before I put everything together, and then stacked it up. And so yeah, we did our own stuff. We did everything ourselves. Yeah, is what it is. Laurel says, I have a seven-year-old grandson. He has a wicked sense of humor. Cable was costing me $130 a month, and they kept cutting channels. Yeah. Allie says, nice. No, it was nice. It was nice. Didn't go into debt. We didn't have much money. So we did everything. And I did my daughter's wedding cake, too. Of course, that's some years later. What she wanted was, those log cakes? They look like a log. They look like a birch bark log. That's what she wanted. So me and the missus made her a chocolate and hazelnut cake with layers and frosting. With, I think it was chocolate frosting. And then, of course, the white around the outside, and then it looked like a log on the top with the with all of the rings in it. And then we had flowers around the outside edge, and then flowers coming up out of the top of it. And that was that was her wedding cake that we did. And then I did on the side, it was carved in, had a heart with their initials in it. Gus says he cut it down at my house. No. No. But yeah, that's the missus baked the cake. We put it together. I did the decorating. And that was pretty cool. I didn't take her wedding pictures, though. Not at the wedding. Not at the wedding. Oh. But I posted these pictures up before. Let's see if I can find these right here. Let's see if I can find these right here. I did do a pre-wedding. I did do a pre-wedding shoot for her. But I did not do her. Trying to find it here. Oh, here we go. Watch this. Here's a picture of the cake that I did for my daughter. You ready? There was the cake. Allie says, beautiful. Well, she said, Dad. Again, I don't bake. I decorate. She says, Dad, can you make us a wedding cake? The log. I'm like, oh, let me go see a picture. Let's see if I can find a picture. And I found a picture, and then I found some good recipes, and then me and the missus, we worked on our cake recipe. You know, did a couple different tests. And came up with a flavor profile that we liked. And come on now. Laurel says that cake would cost about $500 from a bakery. Yeah, I'm sure it would cost a pretty penny. Oh, come on. Try to find the pictures here. Can never tell what set this is going to be in. Yeah, of course it's not this one. Try somewhere else. You'll like these pictures. Here we go. Hold on, folks. All right. You ready? As my oldest. We go bigger on this. There we go. We went a little bigger. Go a little bigger. There you go. There's one. There's another. Another. That's a cute picture. But yeah. Judy says gorgeous. Allie says very pretty. Laurel says she's adorable. Yeah, she was happy. She was happy. But yeah, those are my studio pictures. As you can see, it's like, yeah, it looks like there's in a studio. Yes. Yep. So she's like, Dad, can I have some studio pictures before the wedding? I said, yeah, I can do that. But I didn't take any pictures at the wedding. I wish I had. Looking back, I wish I had. Because she had some friend of hers from school that was a quote-unquote photographer. And no. No. Angles were off. Lighting was off. Backgrounds were off. Everything was off. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Gus says, boy, she looks so much like the missus. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, I like photography. Gus says, well, I'm calling in tonight. My neck is hurting. I will let you know if I find out any new news. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of your week. Good night, everyone. Hey, thanks for showing up. And yes, let me know, Gus. Allie says, I just now realized you mentioned Jim's last name and how I didn't want it. You are absolutely correct. I will never be a Karen. Oh, goodness gracious. Laurel says, good night, Gus. Yeah, that's, yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Oh. My beard looks like shit today. I didn't do anything to it. I've been out snow blowing and shit. But it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock in Eastern Europe. You are listening to AFRTS Frankfurt. Oh, goodness. Yipper skipper. Do you know where your children are? Yeah, I know where most of them are, I guess. They ain't here. So that's a start. That's a start. They ain't here. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Yeah. I did a little work on the website this week, but other than that, I haven't done any new products and stuff. I've been trying to keep up with the other stuff I got going on. But I'm still waiting for the state to come back to me. I am. Well, was there anything else before we shut this thing down? Can I finish? Can I finish? Allie says, have a good night, everyone. Hopefully we'll tune in on Sunday. Yeah, hopefully that nobody tuned in this last Sunday. It didn't even dawn on me that it was Super Bowl Sunday and shit. It was me, Peggy, and I don't know, a couple other people, but nobody was talking, just me and Peggy. It's like, oh, man. Judy says good night. Hey, Judy, good night. Good night. Allie says, I tuned in until my best friend came over. You did? Oh, yeah, that's right. And then you went off to Applebee's. You were there most of the show. I think most of the show. Sorry about that. So you see, I said that in a couple other people. So it was Allie and Jim. So that was fine. The missus thought it was a good show. She's like, oh, it was a good show. I said, it was okay. Laurel says, good night, everyone. Sleep well. You too, Laurel. Dang it. Get to bed. At least you didn't sleep in this time. But I'll be up bright and early tomorrow morning on Facebook. Go ahead and say hey to me there. And hopefully there's not going to be too many jack wagons. I got to clean up their shit. Oh, man. But, yeah, 28K plus. I wasn't going to make any official announcement. Again, the missus said, you just passed 28. I said, yeah, I did. I did last night. She's like, congratulations. I said, yeah, I didn't tell anybody when I passed 27 either. 26 was the last update I gave folks. I'm like, okay, let's see if I can hold off until like 30,000. But, yeah, we'll deal with it. But again, hey, thank you for joining the show. Tonight's coffee, again, hazelnut cream from New England brand. Catch me on Facebook. Next show here will be Sunday night. I probably won't be in such a foul mood. But I am human. But, yeah. I don't know where Kay went. Hey, Kay, you still out there? Thank you for joining the show. And with that, I'm going to call it a night. God bless. Take care.